10th of August 1942, 10:48 p.m. Having engaged, inflicted severe damage to the Japanese destroyer force, turning them back with the tail between their legs, we have suddenly been alerted to the presence of a potential Japanese invasion force just off Milne Bay. Early indications indicate that it is heading towards Milne Bay. 10 ships estimated with a speed of between 12 and 16 knots, possibly 1 cruiser, and unknown amount of convoy ships. We have 2 Wildcats in the area who are returning for fuel. They will be re-diverted to harass and try and strafe any convoy civilian ships that we can find to harass the enemy. Meanwhile, 1.5 hours away, we have the sole Avenger left from Port Moresby, who is desperately flying with its 1 torpedo to try and do something. We must do something. Thankfully, we have from Australia, B-17s already in the air, estimated to be about 2 hours away from a possible interception of the force. These bombers are what we will be relying on to inflict severe, heavy penalties to the Japanese, with the aim of inflicting as much damage and targeting any convoy supply ships. We must turn the Japanese back. We must stop any invasion. In a desperate measure, we have diverted task force carrier, which includes the aircraft carrier Wasp, closer to the action. However, with an estimated 15-hour travel time, taking it into the PM, it is going to be rendered useless until the next day. But we must use all our resources as best as we can. In a desperate bid for reinforcements here, we have asked the Selfridge to break off from the convoy that is returning and to return to the New Hebrides at 22 knots as fast as she can possibly do. Once upon her arrival, she will be loaded up with troops and then urgently sent towards Milne Bay, with the possibility, depending on what happens there, of landing in Port Moresby to engage, where the troops will reinforce the existing 1,000 troops there. However, the target at the moment is Milne Bay. We have scrambling what we can, what resources. Urgent messages have been sent to our allies in Australia. However, there is nothing they can do. The Avengers are returning and will be hours away before they can be utilised again. We must ensure that our focus is not narrowed. We have been caught with our pants down here, and I am one unhappy chappie. Guadalcanal is now under our control. The remaining Japanese forces will be swept aside and taken prisoner or dealt with. With the successful landing and now control of Guadalcanal, it is imperative more than ever that we do not lose Milne Bay. With our Avengers and Wildcats in position, we try and inflict something on the Japanese forces. Hit! We hit! inflicting quite significant damage to one of the troop transports, however losing the remaining Wildcats. The Avenger, having done his job, returns to Port Moresby. However, for the time being, we are now defenceless. Our B-17 bombers are approximately just under an hour away. We decide to utilise the Avenger to patrol around Milne Bay, hoping to make contact with the enemy again and guide in the B-17s. The convoy is now within range, however it looks to be moving away. The B-17s alter course slightly, hoping to intercept the convoy. With no air cover, the bombers will be at risk of any floatplanes. That is estimated to have one in the area. The updated now shows that it's possibility of having a battle cruiser part of the convoy. Contact is made. The convoy consists of 2 heavy cruisers, a light cruiser, and some destroyers. One severely damaged convoy will hopefully be enough to slow them down. Our bombers have targets in place to only target the convoys. It's a risk, but we will leave, for now, the naval forces alone. Our forces have broken into groups of four groups of 2, each group targeting a convoy transport. Good luck, men. Group 1 and 2 are first to initiate their bombing run. Bombs away! Two hits. 3 hits. With 2 hits on the already damaged convoy ship and 1 on the other. The hope is we've done enough for this flag. The bombers so far unscathed. Roger Dodger to base. Meanwhile, groups 3 and 4 slowly turn towards the targets. Group 3 begin their bombing run, aligning abreast, hoping to inflict some damage here. Bombs away. An unsuccessful bombing run by Group 3. We just now hope Group 4 can inflict damage on another convoy ship. Unsuccessful bombing run by Group 4. Losing 1 bomber. We need some air cover here. However, we have inflicted heavy damage on 2 of the cargo ships. Hopefully that is enough to make the Japanese think about withdrawing. Will it be enough though for us to be able to scramble from the Wasp any forces today? No is the answer. Our remaining Avenger is heading back to Port Moresby to refuel and rearm its one torpedo, having no Wildcats remaining in Milne Bay. We are desperate, we are hopeful, we are praying that this has done enough for the Japanese to turn around. Time will tell. Reports indicate the Japanese are withdrawing. We can breathe a sigh of relief for now. Port Moresby is ready to launch a group of Wildcats that we will send down. Just in, enemy troops have landed in Guadalcanal. The Japanese have managed somehow to supply extra troops into Guadalcanal. How have we missed this? Once again we are caught with tunnel vision. Our scout planes have not picked up anything in this area. The only thing we can think of, perhaps they have used submarines to reinforce Guadalcanal. Now more than ever it is dire situations. With only one slow convoy, we will need to look at what is next. Thankfully, with Milne Bay temporarily relieved, we may be able to redivert some resources and split them to reinforce Guadalcanal and Milne Bay. Decisions are to be made at the highest level, however. The Avengers have indicated the convoy in sight as it still maintains its retreat. With one torpedo, we want to sink one of these ships. The Avenger has come in contact with the retreating convoy. One target only for the torpedo, and that's the severely damaged freighter. Torpedo run commencing. A stupid error. Amateur mistake. Court martial shall be indicated here. What was he thinking? He launched a torpedo straight at one of the ships. This man shall be court-martialed for this stupidity. With little remaining daylight left, our Wildcat leaving Port Moresby hope to pick up an intercept before dark and at least lay some strafing fire and further damage to one of the two, if not both, damaged ships. With limited fuel and having failed to intercept and nighttime fast approaching, our last hope at the moment of causing more damage is returning to Port Moresby. Tomorrow is a new day. Our carrier group will be closer. However, with a retreating convoy, there is little doubt that we will be able to inflict any damage. However, the Japanese have shown one of their hands. They are going to look at New Guinea. We need two eyes on the ball here. The The Wasp breaks from the convoy. Suspicious activity has been picked up by our Wildcats of a possible submarine. The remaining group heave to port. The Bagley slows down and will search for the submarine with active sonar. Blue will do the same, however, with passive, as well as the Atlanta. The Wasp, she makes haste and gets out of the zone. Or any traces, and the Wasp safely out of the area. Break off any further searches for the submarine as night falls.